Alan Coleman, thanks for joining us here. Bright sunny day at Lord's. Just wanted a real catch up with you on a few player issues. I know we've spoken a couple of times over the last month. Plenty of comings and goings, plenty of shuffling of the pack to get the side together for this year's campaigns. We announced some news this morning. Nathan Sowter, obviously we've made the decision to let him go at the end of his contract. Obviously that statement we put out had some quotes in there from you. Just wanted perhaps to give you the opportunity to expand upon that.
Thanks, Fletch. A very tough decision with Nathan, not only because he's a wonderful person, but because of what he's contributed on the field for us over a number of years now. I think to understand the decision we've taken with Nathan, you've got to look at the bigger picture here, really, which is, as a 2020 side, we've not performed in the way across a number of years now that the club would want. So I think we've qualified for 2 quarter-finals since we won it in 2008. And if you look across the last 5 years, 10 years, any time period really, we win 1 in 3 games, and that's not something I'm prepared just to sit and let drift along. So we've taken the decision, Richard Johnson and I, that we're going to grow a team, and we want to give as many opportunities as we can to some outstanding young players that we've got. And unfortunately that means that Nathan's opportunities are going to be limited moving forward with the club. I think we've tried to do the right thing by Nathan in a bad situation, really, by giving him as much notice as we can. And I know him and his agent have been working hard for him to get other opportunities, and I'm really glad that Durham have come in and he's getting an opportunity to show what he can do. I think from our membership perspective, and that they've been quite disappointed, I think, over a number of years of sort of younger players leaving the club, and I can think of 3 or 4 in the last 5 years perhaps who have left the club perceiving that they haven't had first team opportunities, and that's something we need to change. So we're creating a pathway for some good young players, and unfortunately that means that Nathan is going to be moving on from the club, but we do all wish him well. As I said, he's a fantastic young man, and he's given his all for the club, as I'm sure our members have seen, and he's very popular around the group, and it's a sad day to see him go.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more, Coley. It's a kind of no-win situation for you, really. I mean, you're always going to be the bad guy announcing something like this, but you're absolutely right. You drew reference to a number of other younger players that have chosen to jump ship and look elsewhere. I can name a number myself. It's a no-win situation, as I say. You play Nathan, and then you run the risk of losing people like Luke Holman and Tilan Walalawita, and that's just not something you can accept.
No, it's not something I'm prepared to accept with the direction that I want the team to go in. We know we're inexperienced at the moment, and easy to say, well, why don't you play the experienced guy? But this isn't a team that we're looking for immediate success for. We need to think differently here. We need a different strategy. I'm not prepared just to sit and allow the same things to happen over and over again and not try something different. And that difference thing is we're going to try and grow a team. So you can see from the teams that we're putting out, we've got a group of young players here who we're trusting to develop and giving them match opportunities. And our target is to surround those with good experienced players in the right areas that can help them learn the game of T20 cricket. We've got some catching up to do from other counties, and there's no denying that, but as I said, we want to think differently. We want to do things in a slightly maybe unique way, because I'm not just prepared to sit and let the same thing happen over and over again.
Makes a lot of sense, Alan. I suppose alongside that, though, you're going to need a little bit of patience from members who obviously were quite reactive to the news that went out this morning. We're going to need a little bit of patience from the members, because you're looking at something that's going to develop over 2, 3, 4 years. You're hoping to build a side that's going to be reaping rewards of your decisions now in 3, 4 years' time.
Yeah, and it's patience from the whole club, really, and I spoke to the board the other evening about the same thing. We need to take a long-term look at these decisions, and we need to do not only what we think is right for now, but what's right for 3 to 5 years. We might not get this right. I'm not stupid enough to sit here and say this is a guaranteed success. It's just a chance for us to do something slightly different, to think about our problem in a different way, and to try and solve it.
Absolutely, Alan. Well, I wish Nathan well and mirror your thoughts on that, and I'm sure he leaves. Will leave at the end of the season with many fond memories of here and plenty of good wishes from our membership. On to other players, a few more complications around the T20 side. I know we were hoping to have Mujeeb join us. There were complications with his visa. Do you have an update on that situation for us?
I do, and the update is literally no progress from the last time I spoke to you, Fletch, really. So unfortunately we've had to draw a line under Mujeeb coming over for this year. It's a real shame, and Mujeeb has done all that he can to get here, through no fault of his own, with the visa situation across the world at the moment. It's just put a delay on him getting here, and one he's not been able to overcome. So I'm really grateful for Mujeeb and the work that he's put in to get himself here. Unfortunately this time it's not come off. We are delighted though that Chris Green can now commit for the rest of the T20 campaign. He's been a great member of our group, and I think our members enjoy watching him play. He's got 3 very, very good skills, and we're hopeful that he can continue to contribute towards some decent performances through the back end of this competition.
Absolutely. I guess Greeny's one of those players as well. He's only relatively young himself, but he's got a huge amount of T20 experience under his belt, playing in many of the biggest tournaments around the world. He's one of those players that you can look at to help the likes of Tilan and Luke come on in their own games as well.
Yeah, definitely. Not only through his own skills and leading by example, but by sharing his vast experience of T20 cricket around the world. He's played a phenomenal amount of T20 games. I think he signed an 8-year contract with Sydney a few years ago, didn't he? So he's very highly thought of. And Greeny's skills are unique because he does bowl at the start, he bowls at the death, and he bowls through the middle. And as a slower bowler or a spin bowler, that's a very unique skill set, and one that we're very, very grateful and lucky to have in our group.
One last piece of the jigsaw to slot into place, Alan, is Pieter Malan. A few questions up in Chesterfield as to why he wasn't playing against Derby in the current game. My understanding is he was always joining us from the 20th of June. Is that still the situation?
It's still the planned situation, yes. So with the regulations as they are, you can only have 3 overseas players registered at one time. They have to be registered for a minimum amount of time. With the uncertainty of Mujeeb, Chris Green, Berendorf and Shaheen, we just felt that it made sense that Pieter joined us with the Notts game in mind. So visas permitting and worldwide travel permitting, he'll be here pretty soon and ready to hopefully step out at Trent Bridge and for his Middlesex debut, and I'm really looking forward to having him with us.
Likewise, Peter's one of those players that you can look at to really add something to the side. I mean, you get overseas players in, you of course want them to make an impact, but Peter's first-class record is absolutely phenomenal. It
is, yeah. He's got a great record across both South African cricket and when he's played over here for Warwickshire and Northants earlier on in his career as well. So, and across all formats as well. So yeah, we're really looking forward to adding his experience to our top order and giving us another great senior player for our younger guys to bat around, and I'm really looking forward to having him with us.
Fantastic. Well, look, Coley, thanks ever so much for the update. Doesn't seem like anything's ever straightforward when I chat to you, but it looks like it's coming together. So thanks indeed for your time, and good luck for the rest of the year.
Thanks.